And hello, we're back. A little late, but or a lot late. Uh, Sorry about that. Had a sleep disorder moment tonight, but we're here. That's what matters. Hi, everybody. You can go, Bean. He was here for the intro. He's kind of going crazy right now, so he'll probably run around for a bit. But yeah, welcome, folks. We are back. We're gonna do some Megalomorpha tonight. If you haven't seen bean hair in my mouth. If you haven't seen over the past couple months or so, we've been working on a new Megalomorpha part that takes place in a Shinto shrine in Japan. Mostly using stuff from when I went to Japan last year. So I got some old school postcards that I scanned. Goodbye, Bean. I got some old school postcards that I scanned and also just used some of the photos I took there of shrines. And yeah, it's been nice. So yeah, hi folks. How are you all doing? Cryptid Beppo, Siphon Sora Wen, Arki, Michi. Hello. Oh my god. Yeah, not doing scam baiting tonight, because we still haven't had any other reply from our boy Beckett, the scammer. So if you do want to see the scam baiting we got up to, I recommend later after the stream you can check out the VOD yesterday's stream. It's right here on the channel, and yeah, you'll be able to catch up on all the twists and turns of us tricking a scammer into thinking that you can grow teeth from your bones and that I am dying. I think we managed to scare him pretty bad. So it's been good fun. Anyway, big bugs. Let me show you guys what we've done so far for this part of the series. Okay, moving the photos. Let me show you. That's one, that's the other. So the first one we did was this, and it kind of started. No, it didn't start like as a new Megalomorpha part. Hey Chaos. I just had this old postcard that looked like, what's it? This, and I wanted to do something with it. I wanted to, I don't know, make some horror with it, because you get a lot of people lining up and kneeling, kind of praying here. If you put something creepy here, suddenly you change the context and you turn it into a really creepy image. So that was a goal, and just through thinking about like what kind of things we could put, I ended up like deciding on turning this into a Megalomorpha part. So yeah, it's gonna be a Megalomorpha story taking place in a Shinto shrine in the early 20th century. As many of these stories often do. It's a beetle, yes indeed. And the gist of it, and I still haven't like written the actual words to it, so it's, you know, still a concept. But the gist of the story is going to be about this shrine that has been for possibly hundreds of years and a long but undetermined amount of time, has been worshipping this Megalomorpha adult, like individual, that has been using the worshippers here at the shrine to, as like a sort of breeding stock, to create more Megalomorpha. If you've seen other parts of the story, you know that in order to create like the fully realized the adult Megalomorpha, they need to metamorphose with a human. So yeah, It's essentially what the adult in the shrine is doing, and this is one of its children. So we did that, and the adult that's only kind of glimpsed in the shadows of this shrine, kind of just sitting there, still covered in a bunch of bubbles and decorations because they worship it, obviously. And you can see it's an adult Megalomorpha. It has like a skull and ribs and stuff. It has like the human bits it used in its own transformation. Hey, Pyro. How many of the stories often do take place in Shinto shrines in the early 20th century? None yet, but they often take place in the early 20th century. Where's Bean? What? Oh, hi. Okay. I thought you were up to mischief, Bean. So, yeah, that's the concept. The third image I wanted to do these three like fully edited images with like something big, interesting in them. First one was the grub, like this like ceremony that's taking place, which is likely to choose the host for this grub, or the one who's going to metamorphose with it, which would be a thing of honor. And then the adults kind of glimpsed through one of the little buildings in the shrine, and oh, Bean, I see you doing mischief. So we got the grub, the adults, and for tonight, I wanted to do a picture that shows a little bit more of the shrine. Like, we've seen bits and pieces. Obviously, these are all from different shrines, but shrines are often like complex, like areas with a bunch of different buildings that are used for different purposes. So, we've been seeing this, which could be a close-up of like building back here or on the side, and this, which seems to be like an intersection of a couple of the buildings, which doesn't, quite match this, but it could be back there. You can see like some of the roofs there. So, it's kind of the same style of shrines. I don't want to show like a Bean. Get out of there. I want to show like a complete map of the full complex because we were using pictures from very different places. So, Bean, tell them what you were doing. You see that panel back there? He was trying to push it on the floor. He loves doing that to call my attention. Don't you? Oh, yeah. Any update from Buckerman, from Beckett? No, nothing since yesterday. If you saw yesterday's response, he just replied to my very horrible picture with "Oh my god" and has not said anything since. I'm gonna give him a little time to maybe come up with like a response, or if he doesn't, I feel like next week, maybe Monday next week, we pose as my own lawyer and tell him that I have died. Because I didn't want to do the death like a day after showing him I'm sick. Would make sense if it was like a few days after, So yeah, I think we might have traumatized. Dude came into the conversation wanting my money and ended up with trauma. What Bean doing? Currently just sitting there. His eyes are closing. Oh, he's a baby. Okay. Bean, come over here. Get down? No? You don't wanna? Okay. That's fair. What lore did you miss? So if you don't understand the context of this, you'll have to check yesterday's stream. I'm not going to go over the whole conversation again because it's a long thing. but we've been scam baiting. We've been tricking a scammer, and kind of wasting his time. And over time, as we tricked him, and he believed crazier and crazier things that I told him using my own arts. I tricked him into thinking I've developed this body horror disease where my teeth are growing from my skin, and I did a really horrifying looking picture to accompany that. I'll show you this. So I did bespoke horror for the scammer. Obviously, this is gonna get posted as like its own art, but for now it's just bespoke horror for the scammer. And he just replied, "Oh my god!" So he hasn't said anything since. So I think we might have scared him away from the scam, but we'll keep pressing. We'll keep pressing. If you want full context on the conversation, yeah, yesterday's stream, it's on the videos tab under here on the channel, and it has a full rundown. But yeah, what I wanted to do for this one is another one of the postcards that I bought in Japan and then scanned. And yeah, it's from the same era, different shrine. I assume Hitoyoshi is a shrine, but or maybe the area. I'm not sure. We're gonna remove this text because it's not gonna match our other shrine. So this one here already has text. Actually, does this match the texts? No. No match. Bean! You see the panel move? That's his doing. He's been doing that to call my attention, so when he wants to play with me. But I'm trying to like wean him off of that specific behavior because otherwise he learned that doing mischief and destroying things is the way to get my attention. So I don't want him to do that. I do want to get his attention so he doesn't do anything crazy though. I'll keep him in check. Bean crime. He didn't like quite put it on the floor, but it's kind of sideways there, you can see. It's being held by the wall and the other panel next to it, but yeah, one more push and it'll fall. So yeah, for this one, I wanted to show the other grubs. So like this is not the only one. There's a bunch of others like growing in here, and because we have established one thing in the really early in the Megalomorpha series, we established that the Megalomorpha larvae are aquatic. So that's definitely something we gotta like cover or explain for this story, because how are they getting to the shrine? Well, they're stored in the pond. So it is kind of a way to tie it to the larger lore, and just like another picture that'll serve to introduce this shrine. That's kind of the idea here. So I want this pond at the bottom to just be like crawling. I'm going to remove a lot of these plants, right? And I'm just going to have like a bunch of the larvae just wriggling around in there to kind of imply that there's a bunch of them. Some of them like maybe going above the surface a little bit. Yeah, the others kind of like reflected under there. So yeah. I'm going to open the Megalomorpha tab on my website, because that way I'll be able to refer to earlier stories. Bean. Bean is attacking my chair. What? It's gonna go crazy for a bit. He'll slow down after. Okay, so just if you guys want to go back to the Megalomorpha series and read previous stories, there's a link right there in the chat. It'll lead you to this page on my website. that has every story. These are in reverse chronological order. So it starts with this one. No, it's actually, sorry, it actually starts with this one. I guess the order is a little bit wonky there and on the bottom row for some reason. It's how the website kind of shows these galleries, but yeah, these are the early stories. Then it goes up there, and these are the latest ones, not chronologically, but in the order I wrote them. So this is the latest one I published. It's been years since this. I have a lot of Megalomorpha that I'm kind of sitting on, that I should start publishing. But yeah, I have like 2 half-finished stories, and I have one update to the original story, which is this one, which is also my very first horror story. Kind of want to make a little sequel to it. I have some images for that I haven't published yet, because I want to kind of come up with a plan to just like republish these. Currently, they're only published on Twitter, apart from my website, of course. Only Twitter has like the full collection of these, and it's gonna be like a whole endeavor to like repackage these for other websites. There's probably gonna be some rewriting involved. It's a little work that I've been kind of avoiding, but yeah, I wanted to start with like the updated version of the original story and kind of, you know, start posting these to Blue Sky, to Tumblr, to basically those two. They're also on Instagram, I guess. Yeah, kind of start a big review, a big reposts of the entire series of Megalomorpha, and then publish new ones. So this Shinto Shrine one will be one of the new ones that's posted, I feel like, in between these reposts at some point. It's kind of a larger plan to like repackage, rewrite a little bit. There's some early stories that I definitely want to rewrite. Yeah, lots of work, and I always try to avoid the writing part of it, so that's why it's been a while. But yeah, I'll be referring back to these stories when it's relevant for the lore. But the part of the lore that we need to know right now is that every time we've seen the grubs, like in the shipwreck, they're underwater, and every time we've seen the cocoons, not the cocoons, the pupa, sorry, they are usually being fished out of the water or near it. So there's a fisherman that fishes one out of the water, just gets tangled in his net, and he becomes obsessed with it. Eventually, he decides to fuse with it, and essentially just like gets inside of the pupa and the liquefied stuff inside, and throws himself and the pupa into the water, and it pops up like broken sometime later. So we've established that, you know, their life cycle is very always very tied to the ocean, and just like being underwater in general. We have also seen, you know, a dead one pops up on shore. We've seen the eggs under the water in an abandoned ship, or in a sunken ship, sorry, being protected by one underwater adult. That's the only underwater adult we've seen. So like likely one that stayed back to protect the eggs. Finish stats homework. Hell yeah. Good job. Thank you, Magnolia. Hi, Hammy. So yeah, so we established throughout the lore, you know, the Megalomorpha, the adults, they usually seek out people to brainwash and either like fuse with them if they're not like fully realized yet. If they're still, because a Megalomorpha that's still not fully realized will just look like a large bug, right? Like this large ant, for example, just looks like a big ant. But when they fuse with a human, they will look much stranger, and they will incorporate parts of the human's body into their own metamorphosis. So it look like this. And so this is the only like fully realized one we've seen yet, like in full clear view, although this one is also like a fully realized one. We just haven't seen much of it. We've just seen the back of it. So we haven't seen the up close version, but up close it would probably look a lot more like the Alfredo. Long time no see, Theo. Theo's always been there. Always in the back supporting. Hi, Bean. And yeah, what's a regular adult Megalomorpha that is still not fully like combined with a human, not fully realized, will try to like brainwash an individual to, you know, run away with it. In this case, it is implied that obviously they fuse together later on, but it's not seen within the story. But you usually brainwash a single person, kind of seek out an individual that it can fuse with, and when it is a full adult is when it starts doing like the more long-term plans of creating a cult, for example. So in this case, it brainwashes a parish in a small town in Norway to start worshipping it, and it is implied that, so this paragraph here says, many of the particular rituals in this group were centered around the youngest members. They wore white clothing and were referred to as initiates. The purpose of their initiation was never made clear. In an interview, a 7-year-old claims, "One day I will be one with God." So the implication here is that it's like seeking new people to fuse with its descendants to like create more like fully like realized Megalomorpha. And this is what it's attempting to do here. We don't like it doesn't like realize it here because the church gets burned, the whole thing gets sabotaged. But in this case, for example, it is an adult that has brainwashed an entire family, and it also like uses them to sustain itself. So like, you know, it's a mosquito, so it's drinking their blood. We haven't seen this one specifically do the like, you know, seeking out like the reproduction thing where it's like seeking out people to like fuse with its children. But yeah, that's basically the general way it works, which varies case by case. We can see it here in the cave paintings as well. First they find them, then they worship them, then something happens, some kind of process, but we can kind of see the pupa here, and then finally you get like the weird hybrids. Welcome back, Aquila. How are you doing? All hail the buggy overlords. Yes. I don't want my lungs anymore. Who wants them? I'm sure one of these bugs will happily take them. Anyway, yeah, that is, I think, like the general background lore that we need to know to understand better what's going on in this story. Ian, what you doing? So with each part of Megalomorpha, I want to take like one bit of the lore. There's still many unexplained things, right? But I want to take one bit of the lore and focus on it, explain it a little bit more, kind of give you a piece of the puzzle and also like pose new questions, obviously. But you know, it's hi Bean. Oh, the screamer. The screamer is here. Yeah, we're gonna pose like new questions and expand on the previously established lore a little bit. So what this one essentially does is that one paragraph in the Norway story about the children of the cults being kind of sort of prepared to become one with God. That specific bit of the story is being expanded into its own full part of a kind of similar cults in a different part of the world where this has been done successfully. How many times we don't even know, but it has been done, and we're kind of seeing it as like a fully formed tradition where the new grub, like the new descendant of this adult, will pop out of the water. There'll be like a big ceremony to choose who's gonna like metamorphose with them, and that's basically what we want to explain lore wise here. Obviously, each story is two things. It's a piece of the puzzle, piece of the larger lore, but it also has to be like a complete story within itself. If I just explain, oh, there's this shrine and they're doing this, it would be a little boring. This is a bit of a longer story, so we get to have like stuff like characters and motivations and you know, things that happen. So I still haven't quite decided what that story is going to be. That's kind of what I'm missing here, apart from like this last visual. But it's going to be something like this is the current idea I have. It's a monk from this shrine who kind of like deprograms himself and realizes, oh, we are like feeding this fucked up beast. Book. Welsh. So, yeah, someone who realizes what they've been doing and decides to either escapes or decides to destroy it or sabotage it or something like that. It's like a member of the cult. That said, I don't want to retread a lot of the steps I've taken, so we already have a story where somebody burns down a church, and it would be a good ending to have like the monk burn down the shrine as he leaves, and kind of leave an unclear ending for all the Megalomorpha there. I don't know if I want to retread that. It's a bit too repetitive, I feel like. So yeah, we'll have to figure that specific bit out. We're kind of missing an ending to the story, which I think is the biggest roadblock. You see, I think I sent in the fan art chat. Parasitic bug angels. Oh yeah, I've been sent to that, like, oh my god, like I've been sent that like 15 times. So everybody thought of Megalomorpha when they saw the bug angels. Yeah, that was a cool little concept. I can find it and pull it out. Wait, Beppo did fan art. Wait, how can I open link? Snakes aren't real. Oh wait. Shit, I guess it's a bit too large. Hold on. That's better. Snakes aren't real. Thank you, Beppo. That's awesome. I will save that. Put it on the fridge. Okay, let's save that. That is going to the fridge. Thank you. But yeah, the post that who is it? Boudin was referring to is this here. This here, if it loads. I guess Twitter's not cooperating today. Oh! Did they delete the post? No, okay, it is here. Typical angel design of its parasitic wing without controlling someone from behind. So I got like tagged on there like an incredible amount of times. Which tells me people are hungry for Megalomorpha. Don't worry. Don't worry, more Megalomorpha is coming. Burning bush being covered in striating insect wings. That's fun. Anyway, yeah. The last visual I want to make for this, or at least like the last main visual. Gonna open this instead of closing it because I'm gonna be referring back to it. The last main visual is the pond with a bunch of grubs kind of floating in it, implying that this is not the only one. We've been seeing, like, this is like one of many generations that have passed through this pond. And there's a whole, like, essentially like a Megalomorpha breeding program going on at this time. And it's been going on for God knows how long. Obviously, they're not, like, flying out in the hundreds. They would have a very slow reproductive cycle, so you wouldn't have, like, an army of Megalomorpha popping out of this. They would just like if every I don't know, every decade or so maybe they would have one of these rituals where they find a new human to do the metamorphosis with.
Veje.
Veje. What if the monk breaks the Megalomorpha shrine? It would symbolically destroy their connection to their deity. It could be. I mean, destroying the shrine, unless you burn it, it'd be like very, not a lot of ways to like sabotage it, but we'll figure it out. Evokes a classic koi pond. Yeah, exactly. There's like many shrines in Japan have like a little pond or stream next to it that has all those beautiful koi fish in it. So yeah, I guess we're just gonna start by removing a lot of these plants. So what we'll need is just a simple water texture, because there's not enough texture here to just not a lot of texture here to get to like clone stamp these out. So we're gonna have to make some texture from scratch. And I could look for ponds. Let's see what I get if I do pond. Okay, yeah, we'll get a lot of these types of yeah, I feel like you know, that the original picture here has pretty wavy water, so kind of like these disturbed reflections that would make it much harder to show like the Megalomorpha under it, the grubs like kind of floating under. So maybe going for a really like still water with some lily pads, right? I don't want like water without anything in it, but something like this or like this, kind of similar angles would probably work pretty well. Probably this one is a bit cleaner, right?
Bug. Nothing compares to the simple bug.
The single bug. So true. First thought of how this is destroyed. Hiroshima and Nagasaki, 1945. I feel like that's too old for this story, and obviously that's like pulling on a lot of historical stuff that maybe we don't want to dredge up. But if we go earlier, like now, what does Japan have any wars in the early 20th century? I'm thinking of like the Russo-Japanese War, that I think is late 19th century, but I don't know if that went into the Japanese like mainland, into the main Japanese islands. Not quite sure. I would have to look that up. That said, I'm making your own outdoor pond. You should add some Megalomorpha to it. Let's see this. Oh, there. Okay, the grading map is from the other image, is from this one. So we're gonna have to make up our own grading map, but we can do that in a minute. Yeah, obviously there's reflections here that don't match. We can make our own reflections. It shouldn't be too bad. Just thinking if the angle matches. It's not quite a perfect match. Yeah, something like this could work. So let's rotate a few images and see what we can do. I can just add the graded map to everything. That was pretty good. I'm gonna start sculpting stuff so you can make big fucked up bugs for Megalomorpha. I'd love to see that. Oh, I got one of the still unreleased things for Megalomorpha is actually, well, it's one I'm missing a painting for that I think my mom's gonna do. I have plans for that. But let's see, where is it? It's gonna be about an artist. It's gonna look like this. That, you know, kind of like impressionist artist, trained in Paris. One day goes back to visit his family in modern day Ukraine. Back then would be the Russian Empire. That and sees a Megalomorpha, becomes obsessed with it, and eventually like drops everything in order to just like try to capture this one moment with artistically, right, with his art. So he does sculptures and he does a painting, which I have yet to do. This one I want to redo. So I have redone this one twice and I'm still not happy with it. But it starts out as an angel, right? And it slowly starts becoming, like, as he represents it more and more and more, slowly starts becoming more and more insect-like until it becomes like pretty much like weird and abstract like this. And one day he just disappears. Is Bean holding a toothbrush? Yes. Toothbrush. Sorry, Bean. Oh. It's one of his favorite toys. He loves it. He loves dental hygiene. Okay, so yeah, the artist story for Megalomorpha is, I think, one of the my favorite ones I've written, but it's just like missing some of the actual arts, and I'm not good at painting. So yeah, that's why I think my mom's gonna do the painting. If I give her like some reference of what I want. But yeah, that still might be a little ways away, but it's an idea. Oh, good times on Chaos. Sleep well. And thanks for the save reminder. Are they only giant beetles? Yeah, chill like bugs. Oh, many bugs we've seen throughout Megalomorpha. It's all the insects that appear are from the Holometabola family or order, which is the insects that go through full metamorphosis. So it's not any insect, it's only, the insects that go through distinct larva, pupa, adult, or imago stages. So that includes beetles, the whole family of wasps, bees, and ants. It includes butterflies and moths. It includes flies and anything in the dipteran family, so like mosquitoes and stuff. It includes, what am I missing? Includes some like weird outliers, like this, the one that appears in this story, which is kind of centipede-like in its larval stage. It has this big jaws on its adult stage. So yeah, we have had. Oh, and this is kind of the outlier. This is because it was the beginning of the series, and I still hadn't figured that out. So this is a cicada, but it is the outlier in this case. Still hadn't figured out the lore back then, but I still like the images a lot, so I'm not like, I don't want to throw that one away. So yeah, we've had beetles. Here is a stag beetle. Where is it? Stag beetle. Here, we've had wasps kind of shown indirectly, if not, haven't seen the wasp directly here. Had ants, and this one I showed before. This one, I don't recall if this one like is a specific insect. It does it the wings I use in here are bee. So this one is like more hymenopteran. This one's pretty bee and a wasp-like. They have the three little eyes on the top of their head. The halos are more like stag beetle-like in this one specifically. This one's more beetle-like, for example, has the elytra too. But yeah, you can see that the Megalomorpha in this case was like stag beetle. So yeah, mosquito, that's a moth. So yeah, I've done a lot of beetles and moths just because I like them. I like I like them visually a lot. But yeah, I should do a butterfly someday. That is tarantula hawk, yes. Not just larvae, but eggs. We've done eggs. Just shown them. Here. Underwater. That's why we don't really see the eggs often, because they're underwater. I'm gonna be honest, sometimes I just zoom in on Bean instead of watching her artistic process, and you're right to do so. Hey Maxwell. Centipedes and millipedes? Nope. Those are not in the Holometabola group. So it has to be insects that go through distinct larva, pupa, adult stages. if you look up holometabola, written like or endopterygorda, that'll also give you the same thing. If you want to look it up, it is written like this, holometabola. And yeah, you can actually see all the whole group here. So Megaloptera is the weird underwater one we've seen, with like technically it has like the head of the adult and the body of the larva, which looks a little bit like centipede-like, but it's not centipede. We've got beetles. That's an incredibly like large and numerous group. We get weird things like the twisted wing parasites. Haven't really done anything with them. Kind of a weird one. We've got Lepidoptera, which is butterflies and moths. Diptera, all the flies. And then fleas, which is a really interesting one. And I really would want to do a flea Megalomorpha at some point. It's going to be like a smaller one comparatively, because fleas are really small. But yeah, I'm kind of interested in doing a flea at some point. I haven't had like a story like considerate for it, but we'll see. Only of them? Not really. I'm making Megalomorpha more into like solitary things. Yeah, the story, without going too much into it, because still more of a sketch of a story in my head, but it's gonna be about like one big flea like latched onto a single person for years and years. It's kind of like draining them of their life. Okay, that works pretty well. The angle is good. Both of these are pretty decent. What they need, obviously, is to match the reflection, to match the like what they're actually reflecting, right? So we, instead of having like trees here, we'd need to have like a reflection of the shrine. Instead of having like we should have like trees go up to there, and obviously the bridge itself would be reflected. So a little bit annoying in that regard. Because in the original, don't really get a lot of grid reflection. We'd see a little bit of it through the plants, but obviously the plants are very numerous and covering everything. I'm also thinking of maybe moving it up, since we're not constrained to the you know, postcard as much on the bottom, since we're covering the entire bottom. We can move everything up a little and get more pond space. Let me look up more pond images and just see if there's one that has like good reflections, or at least reflections are close enough to the foreground that we can just use it directly without modifying. So let's see, mostly looking for pond And I guess honestly, we could use a pond with like a little bit more wind in it, so it has like fuzzier reflections. It's an option too. House bucket. No news since yesterday. I think we traumatized him. He grabbed his own little face. He loves doing that. He loves sleeping like this. He grabs his nose. No, this one's not for Beckett. We're giving Beckett a little bit of time to see if he comes up with a reply, or at least figures out a way to continue the scam. Because so far we've just traumatized him. So we'll see. We'll see if he can shake it off. This is from one of my postcards, yes. A bit of time to rethink his life. Exactly. Change his ways. Exactly. Tonight we're illustrating the Japanese concept of Beckett. And if you haven't watched last stream, that won't make any sense, but trust me, it makes sense. Oh, this won't be good. Yeah, okay, this one has like really ripply reflections, which will probably work better for what we're trying to do here. So I can keep these little blades of grass there. I think it works well to like frame the image. But take this reflection and kind of push it down. Take other bits of reflection from, say, here to kind of continue. He's trying to buy the rights to Val art to using contracts with companies. No, it wasn't Pepsi and iPhones. It was Oxford and iPhones. Yeah, long story short, we got a scammer in my Tumblr DMs, and I started just like poking at him to see what the scam was, and then we just started having some fun and showing him some of my images to see if he'd fall for them, and he just kept falling for them, so he kept escalating and escalating, and yeah, long story short, he now believes I'm a doctor, and I had this strange patient who just kept growing teeth all over, and he died, and now I have contracted that disease. So yeah, he probably thinks I'm gonna die soon. Probably. We'll see. Okay, we're cleaning up a good chunk of this pond. But yeah, when we checked out the scammers, Tumblr account. It was full of like stolen art because they were passing themselves off as a nature photographer and fine artists. And one of their posts was just like a triptych with just some like abstract art, and under it there were like 5 paragraphs of AI written bullshit about it. And obviously, like the AI hadn't quite like understood what the scammer was asking it to do. So it thought that Beckett, which is the name of the supposed artist, right? Like the account is named Beckett's Art World or something. It thought Beckett was the name of the piece, like the name of the painting. So it made up some bullshit about it representing the Japanese concept of Beckett. Oh shit, this guy contracted a teeth flash disease. I gotta get his rights before he dies. Gotta get his money. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Yeah, if you want to like fully catch up, because it's a lot, I recommend checking yesterday's stream. Okay, now the tough part. We've reflected the easy bits, which is this. And you know, it's not perfect, but you know, it's good enough. And now the tough part is reflecting the rest. See, I used to have this plugin that I don't think works anymore. Filter. They were like, where are the old plugins? Yeah, I wonder if that filter works with Photoshop anymore. If it was called Flood. Photoshop plugin. I've used it in the past to do reflections. And let me see. Can I still get it? There's a free version. Let me see if I can get the free version. Because it was pretty useful. Like it would like do our reflection pretty much directly. That's it. Okay. Can I just install this? 64 bits. Photoshop does not recognize this file type. Yeah, it might be too old. Might need like a really old version of Photoshop to run this. No. Too bad. It was a useful plugin. Change Discord status to the Japanese concept of baghead. I love that. Okay, so if I just flip this, we can get the start of a reflection. But I guess I'll push it up a little. Maybe something like this. There's a filter. I haven't done this in years. Oh, I could use... Yes, I think I know what I'll do. I could use a displacement map. And I think I might have a displacement map for this. Kind of forgetting, because it's been a while since I've had to do this specific effects. This? Oh no, that's a different template. Okay, now this is for like wavy liquids. Oh, I could swear I had a... displacement map. I know I have it somewhere, but I think I can just download it from here, yeah. Okay, so there is a thing in Photoshop that's generally really useful called displacement maps. And I could just want to had this already, but I'll just downloaded it again. This is a displacement map that looks like, you know, rippling waves, kinda. So what I'm gonna do is match this to the picture we have. So the waves more or less match the perspective. And if we want it to look more wavy, we can also like pull it, do things like that. I think this might work. I'm just gonna put this on top, right? It is a PSD, so I'm gonna save it. And give it a second to save. It's done. Now I go to this layer. I'm gonna cut it down to... Let's test it out first on a layer that hasn't been squashed. So I take this layer, I cut it down to the size of the document, and I go filter, distort, displace. We're gonna go for maybe like 30 horizontal scale, 10 vertical scale. Let's see if that works. And we're gonna find Shrine Pond. Where is it? Okay. So we select this document that has just been saved with that layer on top. And it should use the pixels of this weird like shimmery water layer to move the pixels down there. And it has done so, but not very, you know, it's not super noticeable. So I think we need to up it. But you can see if I remove the filter, you can see it's been distorted in kind of a wavy shape. But we're gonna go harder because I want it to be like really ripply. Let's do, I don't know, a little 100 do. So again, choose Shrine Pond. Let's see. Okay, see, now it's doing more. It's displacing it harder. But I still want more than that. I want like this, you know? So I'm just gonna keep going with the displacement. And I'll do other things too, like I will do maybe darker color. A blur. And maybe we do it as just a simple ripple effect that's under the more like advanced displace effects. So distort, I think ripple is the one we're looking for, but no, that's not what we're looking for. It just creates like general ripples like that. It's the one I'm looking for. Wave? Oh, that's a tiny. Some of these the Photoshop filters that exist have been made so many years ago that they're kind of ass, but so you know the preview it's giving me is so tiny. I can barely see what the hell it is, but okay. What is this? Yeah, I kind of want this, but small. Like actually not the other way. I want it to be horizontal waves instead of vertical. Maybe that's a different filter. Zigzag? You can tell I barely use this. Style around from center. Okay, at least I can get a decent view of what the hell I'm doing here. So if I add a lot of ridges to add from center, no, this one isn't it either. This thing is so complicated. There's a lot of like little filters that get barely any use, that clearly made in the 90s and are still in Photoshop, and they are finicky. Hence me never like barely using them, but I just want something that'll do this easily. I guess not that easily. Shear. Okay, shear does that. Twirl, did we use twirl? Okay. Twirl just does this. Not very interesting. Yeah, I guess screw that. I'm doing something different. I'm gonna remove the smart filters here. I'm gonna turn this into a normal layer. And I'm gonna take a smudge tool. Like, fuck it, I'll do it myself. And if you just do this with the other filters I'm gonna add on top, because like this on its own would look like ass, but we give it some more strength. That's too much strength. Okay. So already does quite a lot to make it look more like wavy, a wavy pond. But that is just the first step, because we're taking this and we're adding the same smart filters that we added to the other layer. At the end of the stream, I'm probably allowed to say I wanted to bugs. You'll see bugs. You'll see bugs. We're setting up the stage to add the bugs. I'm actually gonna displace after the Gaussian blur. Then we're gonna add some noise to everything. It's very blurry. The displace filter is quite a heavy one, so it takes a while. And whoa, Photoshop, don't do that. Thank you. So I'm gonna take all the layers I added. We're gonna give it the same Gaussian blur. Everything gets blurry. Then on top, we're gonna add a big noise layer. Let's get this grain here. And let's make it stronger. Overlay, maybe? Something weird around the reflection? What do you mean? I forgot about tiny edits. Well, to this layer, we'll just do this for 30 seconds. It's very annoying. We want to keep these as a reflection. We still need a reflection for the bridge. It's pretty important. This doesn't really give it to us, does it? I guess if we take a copy of it, maybe. But we need to tug on it a little bit, see if we can make it work. Maybe something like this. It's not gonna be perfect, but we're gonna see if it works once all the displacements and stuff are added. Let's give it a minute, I guess. Photoshop is working. There it is. Did nothing, but this kind of looks good. I mean, I'll tell you something about Photoshop. I say this all the time. Photoshop edits look like shit until suddenly they don't. So it's one of those things where you just gotta like trust the process. And at some point, you know, it'll start looking decent. Photoshop is working as a statement. Sometimes you just gotta let it do its thing, I guess. Yeah, okay, we're gonna need to expand the lower part of the bridge, like this chunk, to the right a little bit. Add this on darker color, maybe. And then we're gonna have to take the legs of the bridge, the beams, whatever you call these, and reflect them as well, because currently they are not. So we're gonna take this, flip it, and then move each. We're gonna add this darker color. No, can't be darker color. I guess it'll have to be just a normal layer. And then we'll just have to blur it and process it a little bit. Then we cut it down to just the beams and we separate them. And then we'll just have to move each of them to where the reflection is supposed to be. Late night charcuterie snack. Nice. Take your meds, take a stretch, take a sip, get a snack, swap your laundry. Good reminders, Maxwell. Ah, getting JPEG'd. One day I should make a filter when I make like old school images like this. The JPEG filter should be switched to a grainy filter or something. If I ever figure out how to do that. Okay. So that is the reflections of the beams. We're gonna take this, maybe a lighter color actually. Oh. We're gonna turn them to a smart object. They're gonna get their blur. They're gonna get... Should we give them the displacement map? Maybe. Filter. Distort, displace. 100. Yeah, 100 should be good. Okay, and then we do Shrine Pond. It turns out my sepia tones, yeah. Okay, yeah, that helps quite a bit. Yeah, I think I'll make it lighter color, and then just to distinguish it from the actual beams, it's gonna get a little darkened in general. There we go. I think we got a pretty decent reflection going on here, and we've set up like a clean pond. We can still add lily pads and stuff later, but that's what I wanted, a clean pond to put our grubs in. So we can save again now, since that's not going to go into the displace filter. And, oh, wants to be a PSB. That means I've added very large images somewhere. Probably all the displacement maps I did. Okay. There we go. All right, so now, we're gonna head up over to iNaturalist and find images of beetle grubs in a group. So we're just gonna try to find like little swarms of squirming little larvae. That is the goal. Yeah, let's head over to iNaturalist. Set to browser. That's where I got the displacement map. iNaturalist. I'm just gonna do a really broad search here for beetles in general. No, beetles in general. About, maybe? There we go. Oh! Has a little heart on it. It's a little parasite heart. Beautiful little weevil. Whoa! What is that? It's literally named Friendly. It's friendly. Oh. It's a friend to me. What a cool longhorn beetle. Also, googly eye beetle. Googly eye weevil. I love this one so much. It is a servant of googly owl. All praise be to it. Okay, so we're gonna start filtering these. TC0. Life stage larva, which is one of the great things about iNaturalist, is you can do that. And we're just gonna scroll through, see if we can find a cool, like, grubby kind of larva, not like these, not like glowworms. Googly eye weevil. It's great, isn't it? So I guess a lot of these have really armored larvae. When I really want the simple, like, that little grubs that you find underground. These bad boys. Hoo-hoo. It's called hoo-hoo. What does an adult hoo-hoo look like? Oh, it's a beautiful longhorn beetle. Look at it go. Magnificent. Okay, I think we've cast too wide of a net. Let's do stag beetles, which I know have like the cute little grubs for sure. Look at this one. What? This has clearly been edited. Now the color is on. Whoa. Sorry. Sorry. I get distracted looking at beetles. Look at them. So silly. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna find larvae. What? Two images of the entire family. There's only two. Okay, we can use this one for sure. That's usable for sure, but I guess we're gonna have to go to scarabs, stag beetles, and allies, which is a much bigger family, and we're gonna look for larvae. Okay, let it load, let it load. There are some more. Yes! Look at him go. I love these. Is it European rhinoceros beetle? Wait. Oh, I've never seen these in real life. I wonder if they live in my area. I'll have to look it up. We do get a lot of stag beetles, and they have like really big grubs. Like they get to around this size, I'd say. And I've seen those a bunch of times. Like if you're planting a tree or something, and it's around, I think it's around autumn, when you like dig underground and you like dig some dirt up in a like relatively fertile area, you'll get like 10 of these. Allies. How could people not like bugs, like genuinely? I don't know. I don't know. Couldn't be me. I love how every time Bean moves a little bit, that goes crazy. Hi, Bean. Do you want to do a cool movement for chat? Little kiss, maybe? Little kiss? No, he refuses. Okay, he just wants to be scratched. Okay. I'll give you that much. Yeah. Kiss? No kiss yet. Okay, I guess later. You help your friend plant some bulbs last fall and keep finding little grubs. Yeah, it's always respectful to just bury them again after. They gotta eat that soil. Hi, Cass. Local art gallery, nice. Always good to support local artists. Okay, I think this one is the most promising. Let's download images, though. We're gonna save this as, I guess, grub 1. That's gonna be grub 2. That's a PNG for some reason. That's a little stag beetle. And that's a bunch of them, which can I think can be like at the bottom. Okay. So we got images. Let's go back to Photoshop. Put them on. Okay, let's put these up here and start selecting. I'm gonna start with this. Hello, I am a grub and I live in the soil. Can someone edit Bean into that picture? You know the one. Okay, I'm just doing kind of a shitty selection around this, and we'll fix it up. Bean's paw moved! Yes! That's maybe too crusty, but I think they're gonna go like at the bottom. It's gonna be harder to tell. Like something like this, right? Where you just You're just seeing them reflected under the water. Just gotta find like a good position for them. We can use them twice. So one for these to get these grubs at the corner. One flipped vertically to get, I guess these are the dirtier ones, so maybe we don't want to use that. I don't know. Okay, let's use the other individual ones instead of repeating like right off the bats. Let's hit select subject here to see if it does a decent enough selection. It missed the face, but or some of the face. That should be close enough. We could have one like popping up its little head. Walking up to this point with polarized sunglasses. Thankfully it didn't exist back then. So I have to figure out the edge of the pond right there, because I've just brushed past that. We can leave the lily pads there, I don't mind. And we can leave some at the edge there, like no need to like entirely remove the lily pads, but the pond of baby dragons, exactly. So I wonder if I add some lights to the head. I went too hard on the levels. Yeah. Whoops. Okay, so I guess this needs to be lighten and not screen. Okay, if we add soft lights and we... Does that do anything? It's not doing anything. I mean, I guess it is, but it's not noticeable from the outside. Now that's more like it. You would either run away in fear and try to pet it. There are two wolves inside of you. Guess the lighting on this one makes it really hard. So I guess this one can't poke its little head out. Its lighting is like too backwards, I feel like. Like it needs to go. Oh, bean turn, bean flip. The bean has flipped. Hear ye, hear ye.
Are there two wolves inside me? Get them out.
Rip them out! Rip them out now! Something in Twitter DMs. Let me see, because they are really buggy. I get a lot of spam. Okay. Found it, I found it. No worries. Yes, you should put it on the Discord too. They would love it there. That's really good. That's going to the fridge. You just call me Valve? Does that count as bean fan art? I'll count it. Yeah, Aquila, if you're on the Discord, let me know and I'll add you to the Bean channel. There's a Holy Church of Bean that only people who've made Bean fan art or similar can join. Can be part of the special club. I'm gonna do something instead of having these set up as Leiden individually. I'll make a group and set that as Leiden. Okay, so we have the big old grubs here. I like these ones a lot. They're really clear. So I'm just noticing that these mess with the blades of grass. So I'm gonna do something real quick. I'm gonna take the original pond, this one. I'm gonna make a layer on top. It's gonna have less Gaussian blur. And we're just gonna select, or I guess, maybe multiply, yeah. Multiply and make sure that only the grass is multiplied. Hopefully that'll help. There we go. It should do the trick. Okay, so back to grubs. Got these bad boys right here. There's a bean channel in the server, yes, but it's secret. You can only get it with a special role that I give to people who've done bean fan arts. So let me know your username on the Discord, and you're in. Bean's ear twitched slightly. Just he's awesome. Honestly, at this point I should just have like Bean Camp here and Photoshop in like this little corner. Ooh, ooh, yeah. Good stretch. Is any better sore? Okay. There, found you. You're now officially a beanist. You'll find the Holy Church of Bean. There we go. Okay, back to Photoshop. Okay, I'm trying to find the spot for these grubs. It's quite like them. That said, I'm just trying to like figure out how reflections work in the real world. Yeah, the reflections themselves can't be brighter than the surface of the water. So that's why they are in darker mode, and they're, you know, they're like as bright as the sky, or even less so. Which we could technically brighten everything. So we take a levels layer, and we just brighten this until it reaches maximum white, which is this, and it does still fit, but I think, you know, I want to go a little bit darker with the water because it'll be easier to make the grubs like pop up from that. Because if we have the grubs, they're on lighten mode right now, and we make the water really bright, then we can't put the grubs like anywhere near here. I guess unless we move the reflections, which we could. Yeah, I'll do a little bit of that. So I won't keep this so bright, but I take this layer here. Could technically have only a little bit of those trees show up there. But I can do this. There we go. Fixed. Anyway, we remove this. And we got a little bit more space for the grubs. Okay. This one, it doesn't really show up there. Can multiply it there. Oh. I guess I want to have one like leave the water and peek out a little bit. And leave the other ones a little bit like harder to see. So like this one, for example, is a bit too clear. So And probably fix that with some soft lights. Maybe a bit of blurring. Actually, they should all be blurred. And this layer also has like a super clean and bad edge, so we can blur that and help it a little bit. Glowing bugs that aren't fireflies. Honestly, fireflies are possible within Megalomorpha. Because they are beetles. Nope. Careful, Bean. He's pushing on the on the mouse. It's right next to his bed. So when he pushes against the bed, he clicks buttons. Fireflies are beetles, yeah. They're larvae. I believe... No, wait, which are the ones that fly? Are they larvae or the adults? Might be getting it backwards. It'd be crazy for the larvae to fly. There's definitely some glowing larvae, but I don't know if that's like the same. Hmm. I think the larvae might glow. They look funky too, if you've never seen them up close. Look. They're the armored type of beetle larvae. I mean, these are photoshopped in, but they are the ones that glow, yeah. They kind of look like trial bat beetles, yeah. Probably in the same group. Okay, so I want to use this like brighter bit here to have one larva kind of peek out its little head or something. Something like that would be cool, I think. I'm also going to delete this larva here. There we go. Okay, from the ones we got, Do we have one that could peek out? Maybe we reuse this one. Wait, we definitely had some good beetles from the specifically the what's the name of the one we're using? Hercules beetle? From the same collection as this one. That had cool poses. It was like someone grabbing one of them. And it was just kind of wriggling around, so it did some cool poses. So let's head back to iNaturalist. And here we go. We do her. God, don't know how to write today. Hercules beetle. There we go. I love these. So we do a larva with only that. Oh, we need to go to the, wait. To the genus? Yeah. Oh, here they are. Straight up at the start. This is the one we used. No, which one is the one we used? I don't recall. But these are all really good. Oh, okay, so they weren't marked as larvae, I guess. That's why they didn't show up when I did the search. Magnolia is keeping a really close eye on Bean. Thank you for the Bean updates. Okay, so I like this one. It's not the one we used, right? Actually it is. It is straight up the one we used for this one. Just like slightly rotated. So yeah, don't want to reuse. We can use this one though, or this one. This one's kind of clipped there, but... Or this. Okay, the rest is all adults. I guess we do have this, but not very visible. Okay. Actually, wait, 6 photos. Let's see. Ladybirds? You mean ladybugs? You mean ladybugs, yes, those are beetles, so definitely. Let's get this one as well. Yeah, beetle diversity is a lot. I think there's more beetle species than every vertebrate. Or every land vertebrate or something like that. It's like, it's a ridiculous amount of species. And a good chunk of those are weevils. So clearly evolution loves the humble beetle. Yeah, beetle larva only has two modes, and it is like chubby little guy and death tank. There's no in between. Oh, that's a really bad selection, Photoshop. For some reason, it wanted that person's nail. Hi, Bean. Oh, just a little flip. Bean flip for temperature control. Ladybirds and ladybugs are the same thing? Oh, interesting. I had only seen it as ladybug. But yeah, definitely, ladybugs are beetles. Okay. Let's see, will this one look good popping out of the water? We'll fix up the selection if we like it. But no sense in... No sense in fixing it up before we know. You just pop out here. Hello. Hi, little guy. Bean has blue shadows. Very simple reason for that. That my secondary lights is here, and it has a blue filter. So if I removed it, Bean would be bright, but I keep it like halfway, so that it's kind of a mixed light, and it also hits me in the shadows here, makes them blue. So if I remove that, no light on Bean, and I kind of get lost in the shadow there. So it's good to have like a secondary light. That's... There you go. Rat Smasher Ricky? What did rats do to you? Thank you for the follow. Bean has his own little light. He does. It's double purpose. Dual purpose. Both lights up this part of the table so that Bean Cam can be visible, and it also lights up my side here. Trying to figure out how out of the water it is. Transition goal, chubby beetle larva. I respect that. It's kind of just going high. I don't know. I Let me try one of the others. Like maybe this one where it's not directly looking at us. Oh, this one's kind of menacing. Maybe this one like just skimming off the water. Let's see. First, will it select correctly? For some reason, I thought the leaf was part of the beetle. Very wrong, but good attempt. Other than that, pretty good selection. So we put this down here. And once again, we give it a mask. This little chunk here is missing, which is a little annoying, but we can fill it up with a different beetle, or just cut it, maybe. Yeah, that could work as well, honestly. Okay, this one's a little creepier. I like it. So I would put it. Oop! I missed half of you. I could put it here, and then have some of the lower part like this. Maybe show up beneath in like less detail. Like we're still seeing a little. Come on, let me do the thing, Photoshop. Oh my god. Photoshop's infuriating sometimes. There we go. And we do Gaussian blur and we added in some mode where it disappears a little bit. Okay, so now we got a better transition between like over water and under the water. Oh, see you, Alex. Have a good night. Okay. Let's try to draw like a clean line between the underwater and overwater bits. Just trying to get this like really dark bit that originally contacted with the hand. Reduce that a little. Yeah, this one's more menacing. I think it works better. The first one was too nice looking. Okay, then for the overwater one, I'm seeing it's too dark compared to the rest of the image. So we're gonna have to cut that down a little bit. Possibly same with the white a little bit. And then... within that, we increase the contrast. It's gonna need some blur too, because it's very clear compared to the rest. Very crispy. And... still doesn't feel to me like it's like meaningfully like getting out of the water. So I think it needs a little like boundary shadow. Something to kind of draw that line a little clearer. And, oh, some ripples, definitely. So let me see if I can get some good ripples from there. Just a clean ripple I can add. That doesn't have much of a background, like maybe this. This has a couple different ones. The idea is to add them on high pass, blur, and then we just put them on top. Hey Camped, how you doing? Would probably get my finger bit off trying to flick its forehead. Do that, that's mean. That's mean. Oh yeah, it should also get reflected. Oh damn it, why did I get myself into this really this edit full of reflections? It's on me, it's on me. It's my own fault. Flip vertical. Huh? Oh, there we go. Guess it just wasn't visible for some reason. Okay, so we take that and we put it on darker color with a large blur, a bunch of ripples. I'm gonna go with lower strength and kind of a small brush. Gonna go over this, do some rippling. Looks flickable. Don't flick it. Stop flicking my guys. Oh, hey, Ricky. Did the chat not work for you? Okay, I want to add one more grub here in the back because it feels a little emptier there. So let's modify this layer because we basically only got this one from that layer. And oh, messed up there. Here we go. Get this layer to be a little further away. And for some reason it doesn't show up there. Okay, I'll figure that out. Oh, verification. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm glad you made it through though. Now, I would advise against jumping into the Megalomorpha pool and hugging the animals, but you do you, obviously, at your own risk. Oh, it's this one here that I completely forgot about. Actually, I think I'm gonna get rid of it. Ooh, being clicked. This makes me want some shrimp. Actually, I got some shrimp unfreezing right now, which I'm gonna have after the stream. Gonna cook myself a quick walk or something, but yeah, I didn't realize the connection. I was gonna eat shrimp right after doing this. But shrimp is bugs. So it does, the connection does make sense. Okay, there we go. It's a little bit more abstract there, but we can see there's still something wriggling about. And that's what's important. Are you blurred? Not much. Oh, okay, I need to blur the edge. Better. That's better. Every time you make Megalomorpha, you do Megalomorpha, you eat shrimp. I will make it into a ritual. Big bug art and bug food combo. I've thought about this, but you know, in terms of like weird but fun merch, one of the things I would like to do someday is a cookbook. Just have different recipes inspired by things I've done, and definitely there should be some Megalomorpha, like fried shrimp or something. Maybe one day a cookbook. That's where the fractal cocktail recipe would go to. The fractal juice. Megalomorpha plush. I'd love that. See, there's this plush company, Makeship, and I tried to contact them several times and they've always ghosted me. So I guess they don't want to do plushies. Although I pitched them a Terry and Gugliel plush. No luck, no luck. They ignore me. They ignored my emails. Okay, so I'm liking what we've got. There's definitely like a difference in level of detail from here to here. So I might do something before like applying any other filters, etc. I think I should just take a... I'm gonna do something quick here too. Hold on. Darker color, maybe. No, that doesn't help. Okay, well, just take everything we've got and take this, put it on the group. There we go. And now we can do an edit on the whole lower side of the image without changing the upper bits. And I think I'm just gonna do a blur and then a sharpen. Might need a couple ones. I'm not sure yet. But like this is definitely crisp. But it still loses a lot of detail. So I think we can achieve that with a blur and a sharpen. Just gotta see like how much of one, how much of each. A bologna sandwich with my name on it. Hell yeah. Why does Bean have a toothbrush? It's one of his favorite toys. He loves it. He loves it. It's his toothbrush. He will never get separated from it. And I can change the contrast here. I don't know if I want how high the contrast should go, honestly. I might want to change that at the end. So for now, I'll keep it more or less the same. Also, Bean deeply cares about dental hygiene. When he plays with his toothbrush, he'll literally like brush it against his teeth. He just does that. I never taught him. Okay. So that's before and after these filters. So you can see this feels very crisp. And now I guess it's too blurry. So I might have gone too far with the blur. Okay. Let's try a bit lower. Or maybe it's the size of the grain. He's a dentist in his past life. Exactly. I like that. Yeah, it's definitely really big grain. Let's go lower. Hmm. Still too much. Okay. Now it's more crisp. Just notice there's a... This grub here has a pretty bad edge on the left. Probably just because it's hairy, so the edge kind of came out a little wonky. Since the hair is not going to show up in the final image anyway. I could just like cut that edge a bit closer and it should be fine. Now, I haven't touched this gradient map at all. And by the way, if you we can see this in color, it's very cursed. I haven't changed this gradient map at all. It's actually the gradient map I used for this one. It's slightly different, a slightly different tone to the one that the actual postcard has, which is a lot more black and white, honestly. Ah, googly eyes. Wait for them to pop up. Whoa, there it is. Those will go on our little grub here. Beautiful. Oh, there we go. Did not use that. Okay. So, our gradient map. I could do this trick here and try to match the gradient map to this. But I kind of like the greens, honestly. If we take the colors here, there's still some greens. Like, this is technically a green, but it's a lot tamer than what we get on the right side with the gradient map from this picture included. That said, I do like that there is a little bit of variation in between the postcards because they're just like different materials, they've aged differently. So maybe we... Okay, I got an idea. We keep this. Let me do a new version of the edited layer. It's gonna have a bit less sharpen because we did reduce the blur as well. Mectal was in the stream before. I don't know if they're still around. They might be out already. Yeah, there's Mectal. Hi, Mectal. I was sleeping. Lilith asks about you, Mectal. I don't know. You're in trouble? Okay, so what I'm thinking is adding some hue saturation to the gradient map and just like slightly moving it around, seeing. Okay, seeing if we can do some slight variations. Maybe only on the dark bits. So do this. And that should allow us to change, there we go, like the base tone of the postcard. So we can take those greens that we had, we can make them a little bit more yellow, and just move that around a bit. It's going to be a lot closer to the original postcard. Maybe with the exception of some purples in the shadows, but I think it's pretty much fine as is. Okay. I also feel like below the gradient map, I should add a levels layer that limits how dark things can be. So I'm gonna do a quick test here. I'm gonna take the darkest bits of the original, just this. And wait, first of all, completely desaturate. We take the darkest bit we can find, and that is 16 RGB. And then we find the brightest bits, and that's gonna be the sky there, and that's hex code DDD. That's 222. Okay. So that's 222 and 16. We input that here. 16, 222. And once again here, 16, 222. And that should create a levels layer that if anything's going like a bit too bright, and actually I think we can go a little higher on the bright. If anything's going a bit too bright or a bit too dark, it'll like stamp that down a bit. I still think this is too dark. Is Photoshop that overpowered? Photoshop's just a tool. It's about how you use it, I guess. Although I guess that these levels things did barely anything noticeable. Okay. So we don't need to use that, I guess. Give Googly Eyes back. Well, once I'm done with this buddy's face. Don't worry. Okay, maybe clone stamp a little bit. I'm realizing that some parts needed. I'm realizing that the layer we added doesn't have enough grain compared to the top layer. So we're gonna re-add more noise. We're gonna make it a little thicker. I'm actually gonna use a different noise method here. It is here. My actions should be grain camera raw. We can go into the camera raw here and change the size and roughness of this and how strong it is. So let's change it to this size. It's nearly there. Maybe if we add it on overlay. Okay, a little bit smaller. A little bit rougher, probably. It seems like pretty much it. Oh, the googly eye's back. Hey, Soup. How you doing? Okay, now we need to figure out the signature too. Where should we sign this, folks? What do you guys think? Getting a couple ideas. One would be using the beams, kind of the edge of the water. Maybe a little subtle, but kind of big. I don't know, like just adding like a fallen log or something. Over here, just in the front, by using some blades of grass. Be pretty good space. And yeah. In the trees in the background. Sometimes smaller googly eyes do the trick, don't they? Okay, what's the best spot for the signature? Could also be like negative space up here. A bit smaller, but also kind of like pretty nicely framed in here. Oh, bean flip. Bean flip. Whoop, finding a space. Just there at the corner. Is it too warm here, Bean? No, I think like the blades of grass here are bothering me because they're like semi-transparent. So I feel like I'm gonna fix that and do the signature on the same stroke. That should help. Okay, so we're gonna find this. Gonna get like a nice complete blade of grass. If I can. These ones on the left feel more like complete. But they're bunched up together more. So I feel like we can take one and then cut off the rest from around it. Should be doable. Signature and bean. Yeah, hold on. It works. Well, I guess it's backwards. I painted it on my side, so, well, does it? Kinda. Bean has been signed. It's okay, it's okay. I know that's... I know you prefer to have your hair all pretty and perfect. I'm sorry. Okay, where were we? Here. Okay, so we can take this. I'm gonna turn it into a simple layer so that we can move it around, modify it, etc. Gonna add it to this one that felt semi-transparent. That way, hopefully, it looks better. Let's do this one next. Kind of make it thinner. Let them cross over each other, and there we go. And one more. I feel like it can do maybe this, because it still has to come from the bottom. Or maybe I can do a little puppet warp. It doesn't look too bad. There we go. So now we hide this. Oh, maybe I keep the... Not sure yet if I should keep the soft light on below. Let me check. So it's either this or this. It's pretty similar. Few changes. Okay. Yeah, I'll keep it like baked in. So it's gonna go below. Can you pet Bean with the mouse? I like rain. Why do you ask? Just yesterday I got caught out in the rain. So that wasn't that fun, but I do like rain in general. I like when it's raining in your home. You pet the Bean with the mouse. I mean, I can do it with a physical mouse. But the cursor, since Bean Cam is on top of the on top of the screen, the cursor can't go over Bean. Hi, Bean. Are you looking? What are you looking at? Oh, this. My pen. Boop. Here, the pen. It's not a toy, but this is. Is it time to brush your teeth? Go for it. Oh, just your nose. Okay. Okay, he's brushing his nose. And licking the toothbrush. He loves licking the toothbrush. It's part of the fun. You wanna? Okay, no, he wants to lick it. Okay. I'll just hold it up for him. He's really dedicated. Okay, You gonna wash your teeth with it? Can I pet you with it? Oh, he just wants to lick it. If I get it away from him, he'll just go and lick it. Oh, no, okay. Now he licks himself. But this is one of the things he loves about the toothbrush, is that to him it kind of feels like a cat's tongue. So you know how cats groom each other? This feels like I'm grooming him for him, so he likes it. Finish the job, Bean. Good job. He's a clean boy, as you can probably attest. Okay, so we got the signature. Now let's do a top level filter with everything. And first of all, I'm just gonna copy the filters I got from this one, so they'll be similar, like similar level of detail, similar grain at the end, all that. Now we can see that the grain perfectly matches between top and bottom. That's good. And gonna delete this. Don't need it anymore. Okay, now the googlies back. How much Gaussian blur did I do here? Not that much, actually. So I guess like most of the blurring is going on the grain. Grooming bats with a mascara spoobie. I love that. When you hit the right spot, the leg starts going. That's so cute. Okay, so I'm gonna reduce the grain. It's gonna be the same size, but kind of a little bit reduced. And now that we're editing the whole image together and not just the lower bits, now we can play with the contrast a bit more. If we play with the exposure, we can actually check if we were right and if the level of detail is the same all across the image. And I think we got it like pretty spot on, because like this minimum exposure, and you can see that there's nothing like standing out. On maximum exposure, there's a little corner here standing out, but it's not like, it's pretty minor. And the signature a little bit, but I don't mind that standing out a bit. So that's good stuff. Does Bean meow? Bean does. You'll hear him scream from time to time. He's not the noisiest cat, but he is. He will make his presence known. Or call your attention when he needs you to open the door, or when he needs you to play with him, feed him. Pretty interesting how the dehaze filter changes the color so much. Would have never guessed that. Can we get a crunch tonight? We can do it if he gets on my shoulders later. If you went swimming in the ponds, the grubs be friendlier, but they try to eat you. I feel like they might try to eat you. They're probably hungry in there. I would not risk it, personally. I mean, you never know. You never know how long it is since they've been fed. So, all depends on how much of a risk taker you are. So, Bean, are you done cleaning? Are you done washing up? Get those hairs out of your face. There. go. Oh yeah, big yawn. Lucas? Good boy. Oh yeah, just realized that. I gotta end the stream about 30 minutes. I gotta take my partner somewhere. Oh, he really wants to groom me, I guess. Yeah, we've done good time with this edit, so we'll be able to end the stream on time. Time is it for you now? 6:06. But yeah, my partner's gotten like an early appointment, and she's on call at the hospital right now, so I gotta like pick her up and take her, and it's at 7, so like we're leaving at 7. That's early, yeah. Yeah, thankfully my partner has someone to take her places like extremely early, or everybody else would be sleeping. The one good thing about having a partner who has a sleep disorder and who lives like a vampire had to have like a single good thing. Okay, is this too low contrast? I think it kind of is, especially, you know, compared to the others, it is low contrast. But I kind of dig that. It's a little bit dark and stuff. It's, you know. It still fits the others quite well, but it is... It feels a bit more chill, I guess. Headphones out of battery? No. That's why I'll swear by cords. That's lucky, Mectol. But not as lucky as me, because I get to stream whenever I wake up. The problem is I am responsible for myself and my own time, so it needs a lot of discipline, but... A word in Spanish. Well, a grub like these, we would call them una oruga. It's kind of like more caterpillar-ish, but it does fit. You can use it for any larva. Okay, I'm gonna save this as a JPEG. I'm gonna save everything. Make sure it's not too heavy to save. I think it should be fine. Nope, it is too heavy to save. It is a very large image just because I used the size of the postcard scans, and the postcards are quite big. Or at least the scans I did of them, I did it like really high quality because I got a good scanner. So that makes the documents themselves pretty heavy. So that should help. That, I'm gonna hit save and hopefully it does. I mean, technically the right term would be calling them larva as well. So, same thing. me see. Why is this document so large? I wonder. Oh, because I got like 1,000 copies of the postcard, and the postcard is a really heavy document. Now that makes some sense. Okay. That doesn't save. I don't know what layer is impeding the whole document from saving. That's saved. Okay. Someone should make a grub sofa. It sounds like it would be so comfy. Yeah, you know what we can do before you gotta end this stream like 20 minutes from now, but let's use those 20 minutes. Because I want to finish up the Terry edits that we started the other day, and it's just like a couple touches to do, so I might be able to do that in 20. There's a couple things we gotta finish. The Globster is still not done, so I'll probably do that someday next week. I think for next week, I still haven't like set up the schedule, but I want one of the days, probably Wednesday, to be like a sort of free day where I finish like older stuff, and this is gonna be one of them. Where's Terry? Terry City, there it is. Any news on the Beckett situation? Nope. He just replied, "Oh my god," and then like logged off. Let me check if we got anything new from Mr. Bucket. Yeah, he just says, "Oh my god." Did he? He's still around. As posted in a bit. Did we? Okay. Hold on. This is the last message. Just says, "Oh my god," yesterday, about 24 hours ago. He doesn't have the live. Oh, hold on. Bean is in the middle. He doesn't have the little live icon next to him, and it doesn't say like active in the last this many hours, which means he hasn't been active in a bit. He hasn't logged on in a bit, and he also hasn't posted anything like until 2 days ago. So it seems like this is the last activity we got from Beckett. Did we scare him away from scamming? He was traumatized and logged off. Maybe. Maybe we've done something good for the world. We've turned a scammer away from his ways. Did we win? Is this winning, chat? I don't know. Yeah, if you missed it, it is the next part of the Terry series, where Terry is starting to slowly take over the world. So we get this aerial view of Terry taking San Francisco. And there's a couple parts that bother me. So there's everything here. This little chunk here, I don't love. Like, I feel like it should hug the buildings a bit more. The problem is there are no good buildings around here. Like, it seems like a little park or something. So I'm not quite sure. We could edit. I mean, we could do this and have the meat go around like this. Actually, that doesn't look half bad. We can do that. Yeah, let's go for it. And I think instead of let me check. So this is just a general remover of buildings, but it's also removing all the shadows and stuff. So what I'm gonna do is do a group that excludes the shadows. And we put that in there, and that way we can change the shadows separately. Should make things a bit easier. Like this. Okay, there we go. See you, Magnolia. Have a great time zone. And Aquila as well. Have a good time zone too. Okay, so now we can take this and kind of weave it around the buildings a little bit. It's kind of low buildings here, so it can't be as dramatic of an effect as up top right there, which I think looks much more fun. Yeah, so it's a bit more limited, but oh, it feels like it's like going into the streets, street by street, taking over until it reaches the next building. I'm getting too close. Pixel peeping right here. Shouldn't do that. Okay, we can also add some shadows right around there. Okay, and same thing here. I guess it's already kind of following a street there, so I'm not going to touch it too much. There's an eldritch horror in the background. Next to it is a blob with eyes. I don't know what you're seeing. Oh, Bean, I startled you. I'm sorry, you're not an eldritch horror. You're a kitty. Yes. Nope. Hi, Bean. Oh, good morning. Okay, let's redo the shadows a little bit. I feel like we got a bit too high with some of the shadows for stuff that's close to the street level. For stuff that feels higher up, it should have like pretty high shadows like this. And hi, Bean. You going back to bed? We're just going up for a quick drink? Okay. Where are you going? You gotta choose. He's kind of... Oh. He has chosen. Back to bed it is. Okay, good night, Siegfried. Sleep well. There we go. Okay, so I'm wondering how strong should the shadow be, or how clean should it be? Because just looking at the background here, we got a really kind of harsh daylights. So shadow should probably follow that. Like this. And over here, it's a bit lower, so not as much. And over here, kind of similar, yeah. Now, if we change the opacity, we change how strong the shadow is. And I feel like it should be, you know, kind of as strong as this. But maybe with a little bit of variation, so that when it goes a little further away, when it's a bit of a taller shadow, it gets diffused a little bit. Okay. I like that shadow a lot better now. There are some inner shadows we could do as well. Small things like, you know, the eye, casting a shadow on the meat. There's one little thing I want to do here too, and it is finding this specific texture. Perfect. And I want to put it back on below this eye, because the eye here is like really crisp and clean, but the texture it's on is just kind of blurry nonsense. So what I want to do is bring in this really crispy meat texture with a lot of detail and all these little highlights. And we're just going to add that on to the blurry section. Kind of keep the level of detail real high. And if we choose, well, I'll just do this manually. Just continue it until right up here. Try to do the angle, like the edge really crisp. There we go. Jersey Devil, not yet. Never did a Jersey Devil. Definitely someday. Feels like it's a very well-known cryptid, and I would need like a really good take on it, I guess. Like something new and original that hasn't been done yet to tackle that one. There are some cryptids I feel that way about, like the Loch Ness monster, Bigfoot, They're like so well known, so heavily explored that I feel like if I don't bring anything new to the table, I don't really feel like it's worth like me just doing an edit of like a normal looking Bigfoot. It's not like bringing anything too new to the table, so still something I gotta think about. Okay, I want to do some quick clouds. So what I'm thinking is going to some of the like atmosphere textures I have, take some smoke, maybe, no, that's too blurry. Some smoky things.
Big as her says or devil.
Honestly, I kind of finished the Big Booty Cryptid series with Bigfoots. But definitely we kind of skipped over Jersey Devil. So if I ever come back to it, that's gonna be one of the contenders for sure. So will adding this work? I feel like it's too much like smoke, not enough like clouds. It's like too wispy, but it can cover the edge here a little bit, help out the already existing clouds. Because some of these need some color, I guess, to go. There we go. A little bit more gray. Okay, now we take this. I'm still wondering about the color, by the way. Like, how red to make it, how strong to make the color like next to the atmosphere. So I did add some hue saturation to reduce the color like this. But I still wonder, is it still not enough? Is it still too red? It does feel too red to me. It feels like maybe the saturation should be like this or something. But it loses a lot of the fun, right? I don't know. I might just add some desaturation like this to the back of it, so it's like, you know, a smooth transition. Kind of works. It works quite well for the back. Yeah, maybe just adding variation on the saturation is the right way. Kind of keep it high saturation around this main eye, and it goes less and less as we go up. Okay, now we take everything, we put it in a single group, we add the smart filters that we made before, so that'll be the difference before and after. And the I feel like I might need to just redo that camera filter. Also gotta go in a minute. God damn. Okay. Let me at least figure this out, and I think I will call it as done as it can be for today. Too purple. It's better. Okay. Color's looking better, I think. It's generally like, I want to make the meat really red, but we're looking at it from so far away that it's like looking at mountains in the distance. Like there's a lot of atmosphere in between us, so I have to like find that instinct of making Terry just like really, really red. Or not Terry, the Terry Ling. So that does feel a lot better compared to before. Like this didn't feel natural. This does feel a lot more natural. That's, whoa, Photoshop, don't flash on me. Come on. Okay, just only one tiny little thing I'm gonna change, and it's a single little shadow that I gotta add, I think. And that's gonna be it for the stream. It's this here. Oh, I was not adding a shadow. There we go. That's it. Okay. Now, apply that. That's a lot better. The great calamity that will engulf the world. I call it Terry. Okay. That is saved, both as a JPEG and as a normal thing. And I'm glad to have finished this because I've been kind of sitting on it for a few days and I wanted to actually post it and stuff. So I might post this tomorrow if I can find the text for it by then. And we've done this. So double edit day. Well, just finishing one up, quick little things, and doing this one, which is gonna grow great with these two for the next part of Megalomorpha. Still gotta write it, obviously, and I might do some like small little edits, but just like pretty basic stuff to maybe introduce our main character, which is gonna be a monk. So I'm just gonna find a picture of a Shinto monk and Shintoist monk, sorry, and yeah, so just little things. It's mostly going to be finding pictures. The biggest hurdle left here is just writing, so gonna have to get to that. Try to find like a good narrative to go with the store, this little setup that we got here of a Shinto shrine taken over by Megalomorpha. But with that, I gotta go pick up my girlfriend real quick, and yeah, I gotta be there before 7. So I'm gonna end this stream now, and that's gonna be the last stream of the week. So we'll be seeing each other next week, probably Monday, depending on on Beckett's reply or lack thereof. We might do some stuff for Beckett, or we might do something else. I was thinking Monday, maybe we could do some design some new merch or something fun like that. We'll see. We'll see. Still haven't planned out the streams for next week. I'll do that on Sunday. So I will let you know on the Discord as usual, the schedule for next week. If you aren't on there already, join the Discord. There's a link there. Yeah, you can join there and go to the channel called Val's Operating Room. As you join, you can get a role that will ping you every time I stream or every time I post the schedule. So I'll post the schedule before I start the week. So yeah, thank you all for being here. You have an amazing time zone, and see you real soon.